Okay, so opening comments.
Just announce what meeting it is.
Yeah, this is the Ad Hoc Town Hall Complex Study Committee, meeting March 31st, 3:30 in the afternoon at Town Hall. So today, opening comments, this very well may be a short meeting because we have a short agenda. And I think we'll go through it quick.
Oh, there's Roberta.
You there? Okay. So we did our scribe, Melissa, got the minutes put together. I look all right. I sent them out. Any changes or well, we're right at approval of minutes. So
Roberta, you should be in. You'll have to unmute.
any questions on the agenda? Not agenda, but the minutes from the last March 17th meeting. If not, we'll approve them and put them in the record.
I'll make a motion to approve them as presented.
Okay. You bring in a second.
Second.
All right, second. All right, and discussion? None. And all those in favor? Aye. All right, all right, good. Got that one under the belt. This is one of the more on top committees, I'm telling you, in town. Most of them are like months behind in their minutes, if they even have them. Okay, so the second item is discussion action regarding a rough sketch of the first and second floor layouts from input from our prior brainstorming meetings. I'm sorry for that long convoluted sentence, but I was just figuring we should put something together. And I see Melissa, I'll let her talk to it, but she did a rough sketch of the first floor, and we should do something for the second floor.
Okay.
Maybe today.
This is actually a lot of input from Chief as well.
I have the floor plan for the second floor.
Okay. Oh, you do? Excellent. We'll talk about that.
I
Okay.
can go get it if
Let's
you
go.
want.
Yeah, you might as well. We'll need it, but let's go over the first one, the downstairs first.
Okay.
So everybody
Roberta,
could.
I sent you an email with this attachment in it.
Yes, I have it. Thank you.
Okay, so you can see the current right now. One looks pretty tight. That's understatement. And so the proposed one, let's talk about that, but let me just explain something. I just figured it out with the chief. The floor in that place is sloped. And Storm and I at last meeting, we looked at it close and he had thought it was structural. And after visiting with the chief just a bit ago, he jogged my memory, and that part of the building was the post office. Is that true?
No.
That was never the
That is
post
not
office?
true.
I had a good theory here. No, okay. Well, I heard they switched. Would they switch? They've always been there?
This- I have the drawings in there. This section is the new section, and I believe in the 80s. But, no, the post office was the post office.
So why is the floor sloped? It's a big slope.
So when you say the floor slope, do you mean between both areas or just
No,
the
it's just
It's from the middle of the room
of the
to the
leased space?
far wall.
I think
yeah,
it's-
but the biggest drop is it's like the last 4 feet is what
Right,
drops.
it
It's
drops
like
in
a
a-
2-inch or so because the liquor store had put a platform on to put their shelves on. So I guess their shelves weren't tilted back. But for us, depending on how we do it, that could just be a hallway. So it's not like it's really going to affect anything.
It slopes from where the HVAC piece is down to the back door. It's not that whole section of the floor, it's just that one area. And I think it could have been load bearing because of the liquor store, but that was never the post office.
Okay, so that blows my theory apart. I thought I had a good reason why it was like that. That's very unusual to see that in a floor.
Yeah.
In a commercial building like that, unless it's a factory building, you know.
Right.
Okay, so we'll just have to work with it. So when we look at this here, it looks like when we compare the two, it looks like we have to, I'm not going to get into the old side, I'll talk about the new side, but I noticed that we'll have to build a opening to get a doorway through where the storage and refrigerator is.
Yeah, right now it's just got shelves in there and we've got files stored in there. My communication with Chief was right now, all of their equipment for the phones, the internet and everything is in the evidence room, and the only person with access to the evidence room is the chief.
Which one is that?
Right
Which-
beside his office, it
Where
says
it says
storage mechanic.
mechanical.
Oh, that's the evidence room right now?
Yes, it's very small and all that equipment is in there. So if the internet or something goes out during the day, then we've got to call chief, and chief's got to come from Shepherdstown to unlock the door so we can get in and reset what we need to reset. So I asked him if we could take this storage unit and move it over there and then find a new place to put an evidence room, either at the end of these offices, because these measurements are not correct by any means, either at the end of these offices or in that corner, depending on how the space works out for us. And then that would open that up as a hallway.
Okay, so you just need to figure out where to put some storage, but we're still gonna keep the storage mechanical area.
Mhm.
'Cause that would be expensive moving mechanical,
Yeah,
as well as all that internet stuff.
yeah.
That'd be
So I told him it'd be easier for us to make a new evidence room than to move all that,
okay.
and he agreed.
And so back to the front of the room, the police clerk, I guess I'm going back to the old one here, but the police clerk, you'll stay there, but you're gonna have a pass-through window.
Mhm. That's so that I can communicate with Angie on the other side of the wall.
So no doorways needed.
Well, all right, so then what happens when Angie is out for an appointment and somebody comes in the lobby and wants to pay their water bill?
Yeah, the chief and I have been going back and forth on that too, because I told him the initial reason we had said move me over, do the L-shaped lobby,
Right?
was so that one of us was out, the other one
Mhm.
could help. I don't know if this is a reasonable solution or not, but it was less construction this way. So this is just something he wanted to put out there as a possible idea.
Well, my impression of one of our main goals of accomplishments here is that we provide a easy access from the public to be able to access all services that they need in one place. I mean, if I'm a water customer and I walk in the door and Angie's not there, and then I gotta go to the police side, that starts to get frustrating, and it's basically what we're doing here, which is frustrating. I feel like we had an idea of a common place for everybody to come in and be able to address all things at one time. And same thing goes if, you're on the telephone and she could take it and then out the door you go, that's, I think, kind of what we were trying to accomplish and one of the
Right.
main goals. Am I misunderstanding?
Mm,
No.
Yeah.
No,
I
no, you're
feel
not.
that my sense is that this defeats that purpose.
What if instead of a window, we actually do have a door? But going back to the passkey thing, like if you are out, let's say for example, that door could be shut and I don't have access to that door. But when you are in, you can open the door and then you can either help me, we can work together. You'll be there to supervise me to make sure I'm not over in the police area.
So you
Right,
mean
you
a
know?
door like here?
Instead of where that window is.
Yeah.
This little bracket is a window.
How secure, and you wanna keep this right part of the building secure? Is that why you didn't have a door?
Mm-hmm.
See, the police department is kind of a secure
I
domain,
understand.
so.
I understand that.
And that's
But I
why
like
I say
your
I wouldn't
idea.
have access to
Right,
it.
I like.
So what you're saying is
Yeah.
if there was a door, is this intended to be glass in the drawing as you have it now?
It's a wall with this is a window for us to be able to communicate back and forth.
So you would be able to see if someone's in the lobby of the water area and
Mhm.
Angie's gone. So therefore you could get up and walk through, if there was a door here, walk through to the other lobby and help that person.
Yes. And I didn't,
Okay.
I have the other original one that I was thinking of another way to lay it out, but I didn't print it off for today. Because this is just
Okay.
something that the chief wanted us to talk about as a
I
possibility.
think it's a good possibility. I think what we really need to do is get a professional person in to do
Yeah.
measurements and.
But the reason I wanted to get some rough ideas, so when we talk to somebody, then we could say, this is kind of a
Yeah,
rough
well,
idea,
Right.
what we're thinking.
And
What do you
here's what we're
think?
trying to
Yeah.
accomplish, and they may say this is
No,
great,
no,
but
no,
no.
make that tweak and that tweak, and then we'll go,
Right.
oh, we didn't think about that.
Right.
Right.
Because right now, what I see on this is.
Roberta has her
Waste
hand
of
up.
space, this here is kind of
Well,
waste of space.
I only did that so that a window wasn't coming straight into a police
No, I
officer's
understand
office.
that, I understand that.
Yeah, that bathes the area with light. There's more than one window there. There's also the air conditioner sitting in the lobby, that hole in the wall. I mean,
We
that's a
can make
hole.
that a
We'll
window.
make that into a window, yeah. To lighten up where Angie is and in the lobby. I think this is a pretty good shot, but I do think we may want to think about this access here.
Yeah. And I'll also do I'll get you all the other one where we talked about the L-shaped with Angie's office coming this way and police officers coming this way. I'll get that to you all also. I just didn't bring it in today because
Oh, Roberta, please.
Yes, hi. Okay, I appreciate the sketch that they're working through. So let me ask some questions that a typical space planner is going to ask. So you guys are in agreement that the police department basically is going to occupy the whole first floor? Is that basically what the plan is, with the exception of the water
Yeah.
clerk and their space? Okay, so you're
And the
okay
water
with that.
clerk will be down there.
Okay, and the office spaces, are these existing officers or proposed new staff projections?
both. Right now, we have 6 officers and 3 offices.
Okay,
One of
6
their-
officers,
But if you look at the current, the one that says current, the chief is the only one that has his own office. The officer office on the same side as the chief's is 2 officers, 2 full-time officers sharing one space. And the other officer office is 1 full-time and 2 part-timers sharing one space.
so 1 full-time and 2 part-time sharing a space. So I
Mhm.
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You currently have 6 officers with
Yes.
with 2 of those being part-time.
Yes.
That includes the chief. Okay. All right. And the size of these offices, is this something that the officers feel they need, or is this something that,
The office that is being shared between the 2 officers is only like 8 by 11.
okay,
So it's not sufficient for 2 people,
okay,
but it's okay size for 1 person.
right. Okay, good. And then the single officer stations, they're what, 6 by 6, something like that?
I don't know. I didn't do any kind of measurements on them because it was just a draft that the chief put in place to kind of get an idea of how we could work the space and have more officer offices, plus give Angie a space that worked for her.
Okay. All right. And then, I'm looking at the proposed and I'm holding up the drawing that, I received of the current space. So what I'm concerned is I don't see where you've got the evidence room, and maybe, you tell me, there's still the stairs going upstairs that are not reflected on this plan.
They're
So,
behind that. I didn't draw them in. They go along that
Oh.
back wall.
They're
okay,
outside.
okay. And then, so the elevator and all that is outside of this sketch as well?
Yes,
Okay. thank you.
because it all goes in line with each other. I didn't add it on.
Okay, all right, perfect. Now I understand. Okay, thank you. And then the lobby, we will have to meet ADA, so I think that lobby probably is gonna have to probably be at least at a minimum. 8 feet?
We've already got a lobby on the police side
Yeah,
that meets ADA.
okay. So
And
how big is that? Do you know? Do you know the size of that?
I don't know. I haven't measured anything. I was just drawing up the plan or the idea that the chief had.
Okay, so what I'm gonna get at, and I can certainly, if you can get me the measurements, I'll be more than happy to draw something to scale, so that we can start to see how this is shaping up and include the stairs in the back and all those other things, so we can really start to see the flow of what's going on. And I assume
Right.
you're keeping the existing windows, existing doors, and existing back door to the building, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Great.
I'll also do the other original idea that we were kind of tossing around with the shared lobby between the water clerk and the police clerk.
Right,
Um,
right, yes. Now, do you envision that the police officers are in open workstations? Like systems furniture, kind of like what
No,
Angie said?
no, they have to have closed locked rooms or Angie
They
can't
do.
be down there.
Oh, okay.
Angie
All
can't have any access to anything that has to do with our police system we use for entering the tickets or looking up individuals. She can't have access to any of the paperwork that's processed that's related to police activity. So all the officers have to have a full office with a lockable door.
And that's really anybody. I mean, you know, if one of us needs to go down there and see
Yeah.
Angie, we've got to be
Same.
able to go pass through that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think on our first look at this, if you look at that empty space and the pole, let's say, was in the middle, we were kind of envisioning that the water would take that section
Yeah, I just didn't print that
and
one.
they would do that section, and that would alleviate, I mean, you could still build them, we could do that hallway and keep them separate, and then we may be able to do the modular offices.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how the original one I did, I had it drawn up, but this is, I just wanted to show you all what the chief
no, I
was
think it's
suggesting.
it's a good idea. The only other thing I would look at is what if there was an additional person on the water side? Where would you put them?
My space is big enough for 2 people to use right now, because
So then the water clerk space would have, but then would that impede the walk? the
not if
passage?
you did it before the walkway, or if you put a door out of the lobby and they went around that way, then they'd have to go through 2 doors to get to the bathroom. So I was just trying to avoid that.
And are your bathrooms, because again, you'll have the public bathrooms, I guess, upstairs still, right? So these are really going to be staff bathrooms?
No, ours is both. The main bathroom in the police department is both, and it is ADA compliant. And the other one just needs to have a facelift.
Needs a bomb first, and then start over.
Yeah, because if you've got to make them public bathrooms, then you are bringing the public in through your space. So if that's a concern,
We don't need to make that bathroom downstairs that she's talking about public.
And the one on the
Yeah.
police side
Am
is
I wrong?
ADA compliant, so if they bring someone in, they have that bathroom will be the primary bathroom for that person.
So I think that would be your limited public.
Right.
Because the general public coming in to pay their water bill wouldn't say, hey, can I use your restroom?
Right.
We would say
Well-
we don't have one.
I have had people ask and, you know, and I have told them we don't have a public restroom.
Yeah.
You know,
So the restrooms are
We're
more
not,
for
we're
staff.
not a restaurant. You're just coming to pay your bill. I don't think that we have an obligation to provide restroom facilities.
okay, good.
Someday, if we have a bigger building, but
Yeah, we could have public bath.
I'd like that. It's
Sure.
not for the visitor. I'm talking about visitors to Harpersburg, because there's
Yeah.
nothing up here. We don't have a public bathroom in
Mhm.
Harpersburg,
Mhm.
except we depend on the National Park Service.
like if we had like a reception area and then how, you know, often then those larger lobbies, they'll
Yeah.
have
Well,
a men's room and a ladies room.
Someday I can envision where you can have like the back of the building, there's a public restroom open to the outside, not the inside, on the outside.
Well, maybe
Right,
that could
right.
be too.
Well,
we add
that's-
that
I'm just-
section onto this and, but,
But I'd like to see something someday, because we don't have any facilities in Harpersburg.
Don't.
And when the Park Service closes, we are in trouble when they close their restrooms.
Let me ask a quick question on the police side. I'll call it the existing police side. You've got a large open space. What is that going to be designated for?
Are you talking about back by the bathroom?
Yeah, by the bathroom and the
Right
another
now it
officer.
Right now it has a storage cabinet and it's where they do their fingerprinting. And when they first bring the people in, they're back there if they have to fingerprint them and process them.
Okay, do we know how much space that takes up, like the fingerprinting machine and all that?
It's a shelf on the wall. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but it's just in between. That space is not that big. I didn't measure anything. I used Word and used a table to create it just so the chief would have something to look at.
Okay, that's good. No, I get it. And then files, is everything in the evidence room, or is files gonna be sprinkled out down the hallways? Is that what you're envisioning?
The existing evidence room will become the storage for our files.
Okay, all right.
Then we
And
have
do
to create a new evidence room on the
Okay,
other
do we have
side.
okay, do you have an inventory on all those files? What the sizes are?
Not now.
They're all in what, the current one that says storage and fridge, they're in there, and it's the same exact size as the evidence room.
Okay, all right, very good.
Now, and I guess like copy machine and everything, you just.
If I, yeah,
Yeah, is there a copy machine in that open area as well?
no, it's out in my office. It's out in the police clerk office.
Okay. All right.
Until Angie needs.
It appears that we don't have to change anything physically outside on the brick wall except where the air conditioner is. And I would suggest some sort of window.
There's also one in the back as well, right by the bathroom. That one has to come out, and that could be a small window.
Oh, there's an air
It's
conditioner
in
back
like the
there?
little break area right now.
Okay, so we could fit that.
So just
Glass
how
block or
windows.
something. Okay.
So if I'm looking at that existing plan, I did assume that the lobby is staying as is. The chief's office is staying as is. The storage mechanical room, which you guys have here as the briefing room, is staying as is. And the records room is now going to be the officer office.
There is no records room. Those old plans it's not laid out like those old plans are.
Oh,
It's the one that says, that I gave you, that says current is how the rooms are being used currently.
yeah. So I would like dimensions or for something. So if we know which walls we're going to, if I can make a little sketch of, if we're going to manipulate this, I can certainly show you which walls maybe are staying, which walls
Well,
might
the one between the existing evidence room and the officer's office cannot be moved. It's a block wall.
that's the one at chief's office and the evidence room.
No, the officer's office in the evidence room.
The one that says shared by two.
Yes. The
Okay.
wall that go between it and the evidence room is a block wall. The other storage
Okay.
room has to stay a storage room because that's where the hot water heater, the panel box, and everything is.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. That's all good to know. Nice.
We're trying to keep it so that the police department side is not really changed unless we decide on the plan that puts me on the other side of the wall with Angie, and then we can create space up front for extra officer's office and the magistrate to use.
Okay. And how big do you anticipate that room?
I'll have to send you the other one so you can compare the two ideas that we've kind of come up with so far.
Okay. And then that conference room and break room, how many people do you anticipate sitting in there?
The 6 officers.
But not at
6.
once.
So conference room for 6?
It's
With the
just
break
if the chief needs to talk to the officers, he has a place to sit down with them to talk.
Okay, awesome.
It's more kitchen break room, but a flexible space where if he wants to sit down with the officers, he can.
Okay, and that bathroom that you have off the break room, does that door open into the break room right now? Can it open into the hallway?
No, the sink and the toilet are sitting straight in from the door. And it's not
But
it's not a huge bathroom. It's a small bath.
Okay.
It's not big like the one on the other side.
Okay, but if we had to reconfigure it, does that look doable where the door can come off the hallway?
I don't even know if there is a door on it anymore, but you know what I can do, Roberta?
I don't think there is a
I
door.
don't think there's a door, because the door was the outside door in the little area. What I can do maybe, Monday is FaceTime you from down there and show you on a camera what it looks like. Would that be helpful?
To me, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, if we do a
Are
camera
you
walk.
able to stop in?
No, she's not.
I'm still out of town and we're hopefully going to be there like in April.
That's
So
tomorrow.
that's why.
If Monday can work, if it can wait till Monday, I'll be happy to go down and FaceTime you with my phone and just kind of show you what we're dealing with this bathroom space.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, because what I could start to do is really put something to scale for you guys after that's why I'm really trying to get the dimensions down.
Right.
And then we can really see how much space we have left, how things are going to fit in here.
You know, I got my basket in the window in there with my
And that would be
toothpaste
good,
and
because that would give us
toothbrush.
some time to come up with measurements for you too. So how about we get together on Monday and I'll just meet you downstairs.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you available Monday?
Well, I actually on a plane tomorrow. I have family services to go to in Phoenix, Arizona. So I actually will be out of pocket from the 1st to the 5th. So if we can do it maybe on the 6th.
At your convenience, I can do it.
Yeah, can we on the 6th? Is that good?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so that's downstairs. Upstairs. What are we talking about here? Now we have the original, how it's set up. I didn't quite understand everything from our last discussion, how that worked, how we were gonna do the stairs to here and how we were gonna do this spot here.
Talked about a couple different things, but one of the things was to leave these offices the way they are,
I
just
see
take
how
this
this
wall
is
out and open this all up here so that it was,
Including just take the kitchen out and the,
but maybe not take the kitchen out, but make it maybe less space, maybe square it off
Smaller.
somehow. But also there was a thought of making conference room area over there, or I don't know. But ideally opening this space up, but then Storm had an idea to move all the offices on this wall, which may
It's a
or
lot
may
of
not.
extra.
Yeah, and I think some people enjoy having the window, so.
I agree with that, yeah.
I think what we were talking about is taking out
Yeah.
this middle wall.
Yeah.
This wall,
Right,
okay, leaving this
if it's not
doorway,
load bearing,
correct, and I don't think it is. I
that's
looked
why
at
we
the
need an
plans.
engineer, but.
And then we would leave this doorway.
Okay.
So that people would come in the main office door for a meeting, come up the stairs. This isn't actually correct, because this is closer. And then they'd enter the room here. This would be all opened. We would maybe move this wall to the pole. We would do this.
I mean, I think the idea is just, I mean, I don't know that we have to get like super involved in it right now, except that we just want this to be as open as possible. And the big key is, what limitations do we have about this wall?
If there's
Is there anything
HVAC
that
in
can be
it.
done? If there's anything that we need to do? And we're not gonna be able to know that until we
The
get
engineer.
somebody in here to tell us.
And
Yeah.
basically, once that wall comes down, then we have a big
Then you have a
open
big room.
canvas, and then we can
Yeah.
decide, you know what, maybe we want to wall this area up with partitions for conference room, maybe not, make it all seating, and put the conference table over there, because people won't be coming up here anymore. and they
Could you
can
put
really
the
see.
town clerk out to her spot, out to the window over there, and that opens up this metal?
She'll be downstairs.
Huh?
I am
She'll just be
downstairs.
She'll be
downstairs.
downstairs.
I'll be
We're
downstairs.
eliminating that desk. And we're
So
eliminating,
she's not gonna go up and downstairs anymore?
no,
That's the whole
Ideally.
goal.
But you like the exercise.
The two of us, I forget stuff.
Okay, so
that'll
you're
all be
gonna be
open.
always downstairs, and that's what the plan is, okay. Unless, but we still should have an office over there. Don't you think?
I think we start with leaving it all open space and see what we
Okay.
need.
All right. Okay. I see. So we actually need an architect in here. Yeah. All right, so I guess we don't, no action on this. We'll just keep
Brainstorm.
working on it.
Yeah.
Brainstorm's the word.
Yeah, because until we know structurally or whatever, what we're dealing with and what we can do, then we can't make decisions really.
Right, I agree. Okay, next item and last item, discussion and action of hiring a structural engineer or architect to provide the committee professional opinions and options. So Storm gave me a structural engineer who's local, has done work in this community. I have called her, I have emailed her, and I've heard nothing. So I'm stuck on that one. So then I reached out to I talked to the mayor. I told him I'm stuck. I don't have any. So he suggests I talk to Laurel Zemansky, which I did yesterday, and she gave me two people. I wish I talked to her a few days earlier because their structural engineer from Morgantown was here physically, and he could have just done a.
Yeah.
But that's one. And the other one is I'm more excited about this. I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? Michael Mills. So he's the architect. They're out of Morgantown as well, but they have an office in Shepherdstown now, and they are the one that redid the visitor center. So they can do high quality work. Now, I don't know how expensive they are, but that's my next spot. I called this afternoon, I left a message, and I can't do anything. I may, because I'm leaving soon. I'm leaving on the 11th, so I'm gonna probably give it to maybe you, Patty, or okay, somebody to like. If I'm not around here after the 11th, here's who you need to reach out to. But I'm sorry, and I thought Chad was gonna be here and he was gonna provide some resource. I did talk to Laurel, though. She does know he uses the Mills Group. The Mills Group.
Okay, good.
So I was very impressed with the owner when he spoke at the dedication of the visitor center. He was pretty impressed, and I'm impressed what he took a sow's ear. That was really a lousy building, that A-frame building, and transformed it into a really work of art. I mean, it's a beautiful, functional building and using county workers to do most of the work. So unfortunately, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Well, before you leave, just leave me names and numbers,
I
and then
will.
I can follow up as well. And basically, we'll just have some bullet points of what we want them to take a look at and advise us so that we get the same.
That's why I wanted some rough idea about what we want for floor plan and
Yeah.
just so they can kind of put it in their head. But I want it done right. I mean, it's,
Well, we're gonna be spending the money, we want it done right.
correct. You all are here. We want to make this environment for you within the cost parameters, within reason, but a nice place to work. Yeah. Anything else on that point? Anybody has anything? I just don't know what to do. It's just anybody in these trades right now. It's like pushing a rope. I've been trying to get a landscape architect for the last month. Was phone tagged, email tagged. Finally, I haven't never been able to connect with.
That's okay, I made an appointment with one and they didn't show up. So.
Yeah, that's.
Par for the course.
And
Yeah.
didn't respond to my 2 follow-up phone calls. So.
Yeah, when the mayor was telling you, oh yeah, I got this list of names, and I'm like, you can have a list of names, but it doesn't mean you got them. I mean, they're just hard to get. I mean, they're backed up. Unless we get, I don't know. We'll find somebody. We'll get something. But I'm excited about the possibly getting a Michael Mills, and so I left him my cell number. So
Good.
he gets with me. So with that, the next meeting, we can't really move until we get this person in here, right?
Why don't we
Did
go
you
ahead-
want a motion on that, Christian, or you just want to leave that and
Yeah,
wait?
just leave it.
This is kind of informal.
Yeah.
There's nothing to.
Something, if we had a person and name, yeah, then I'd make a motion and we would do all that, but we don't even have anybody.
Okay, all right.
We're going to get somebody, but I don't think we can really move too much until we have somebody walk this building.
So why don't we go ahead and schedule the meeting for
Yes.
2 weeks from today, and then if we don't have anything to follow up on, we'll just postpone, but
Good idea.
maybe we will, so. with the goal of trying to have it.
I won't be here, but but one of you guys can take, you can take it over, Patty or Deb or whatever, or Melissa, if you, Melissa, I don't know if you wanna do it, no, just shaking her.
Well, we'll see
See
what
what's
the-
up.
The date and what's happening around
That's
that
fine.
date, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so you're looking in the
Try
middle
to
of
keep
April.
moving, but
Yeah, we've got to, I'll get you all my information on those that Laurel had. And unfortunately missed the person who was here in town physically, and to get him to come all the way out is probably difficult.
So I'm looking at the 14th for the next meeting.
Yeah, when's that, a Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would even put it out there. I'll get an agenda, I guess, and I'll get that out so we at least have a date, and that way it's on the calendar. And then if you want to cancel it, if we can't do anything. I mean, I know things we have to do. And the other thing is, I'm not sure we want to do piecemeal stuff. I know Larry's trying to get somebody to look at the door in the front, and I'd rather get somebody, when we do this, like take care of a large section. It makes sense to a contractor or somebody doing this kind of work. They want work. They don't want like 6-hour job, or, you know, they want like a week, you know, they can be here.
Well, maybe we could get a contractor to give us an estimate on replacing that door and side lights and taking those window units out, popping a window in. That would be a big enough job. And we're gonna do it anyway. Now, do we have to get any kind of permission to put a window in a building that didn't have a window?
I don't know.
I
You
mean,
know,
do we
just-
have to do a zoning
I
compliance
was
permit
just
thinking,
application?
yes.
And,
I was just
I mean,
thinking.
where you're, yeah,
okay, so I think we need
Yeah,
to
I
do
think we
that.
just have to wait till we get this person to come through, or like Chad, for instance, has done a ton of work around here, and he could tell us real quick.
About
But the lights,
structure?
not the structure,
Oh.
but more or less like a HVAC can do here, and power line, you know, lines for this. Now, the lighting on this place, I want to make it like the lights are already here at the post office, but I got to get one repaired.
Well, I did find the lighting schematics, however, you know what was not on there because they weren't installed at the time, were those silly pole lights up front. Because that was the first thing I zoomed in on, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is in the 80s, these lights were put in the 90s. So I do have the schematics. Are they accurate? Not sure. They should be. So we pretty much have that all.
But to me, that's decorative stuff. We can catch that all at the end, those kind of lights. And but I want to get some, think of this, commercial quality, commercial. We cannot use residential lighting. It's going to be much more expensive, but it'll last like the lights in front of the post office. I bet you those are 50-some years old, those lights, except one's missing a piece. And I spent hours trying to find one online. I can't. They're unique lights. They're beautiful. They need to be cleaned up and restored.
I know there's a place.
Can you take one to someone who has, what are those things called, a 3D printer, and get that piece made from a 3D
Yeah,
printer?
I love that. That's all we need. It's a decorative piece. It's not functional at all, but they
Right.
need to be cleaned, taken apart, cleaned. They need to be proper bulbs put in them. Right now, they look tacky. But we need more. We need to duplicate further around the building, and the current lights look.
I know there's
March.
a place in California called Bathroom Machineries, and they take all old fixtures and they refurbish them, and you can buy them, and we put them in our house. There are other sites and businesses out there that, you know, when they're gonna demo an old house, they bring it all. There used to be a place in Frederick, and then you go in and the stuff is everywhere, and you just have to weed through to find what you're looking for, and you might find rule posts that you wanted, or 6 columns that you
Yeah.
wanted, and you could find some lighting.
There's a place in Front Wall. I've
Like
been in
that?
it like that, and another one in Lynchburg, but we'd have to go.
So I wonder if we could take a picture of that lamp and send it to them by email and say, would you happen to have anything like this? We're looking for X
If you want to do that, I would love that, because it's gonna take a while to find these
Do
things.
you know the name of those places, or?
I know one's Black Dog, he's got a TV show, and the other one, yeah, they just go to buildings and they just strip them of all the
Right.
stuff.
You never know, they might go, I know where to find it for you.
And we need probably 3. And we got 2 here. One needs to be repaired and the other one's fine. It just needs to be cleaned up. But I want them, the old look. You know, I'm a historic landmark, so I'm really big on kind of giving it that historic.
Oh, thank you.
Try that too.
Yes.
I'll get you the things, Patty.
Switch lights for me.
I'll get you those places.
Okay. And then
But
just
you're
go
right, and I
online.
know I have a buddy. Whenever his job is demolition of buildings all over the county, and he's got warehouse after warehouse. He's offered for me to go look at what he has, but he doesn't destroy it. He takes them out, and that's another guy I could talk
I
to.
mean, it might be worth a phone call to say, instead of saying what do you have, if I send you something, can you tell me what you have similar?
Some of them have inventory online. They have,
Yes.
like the one down in Lynchburg, I'm sorry, Front Royal, they have and all the stuff's expensive. Trust me,
It is.
I bought some of it. It's like, well, but you can't get it any other place.
Well, you get what we think.
That's right.
But again, we want commercial, there's old post offices that were ripped down. There were all kinds of commercial buildings ripped down. And I'm sure there was exterior wall lighting, sconces and stuff we could get.
You guys don't want to share the list from a restaurant, I got a bunch of them put together.
I just bought a chandelier like 8 months ago.
Getting off.
Okay, this was off
Gorgeous.
agenda on the light, but, okay, so with that, I move that we end our meeting at 4:15? Yeah, 4:13.
A second?
All those in favor? Aye.
All
Okay,
right, thank you.
thank you, Roberta.
Thanks, Roberta.
And
We'll just keep plodding along. And as soon as I hear, maybe this Alicia lady will get a hold of me. Maybe she was at a wedding. I don't know.
No, it's frustrating because I've been trying